Welcome back, guys and girls, to another cook. Me and Dave, we're here in the shack, and today we're doing something different. We're going to do some tri-tip, but we're going to hang it in our new Dravos classic smoker, guys. So come in and have a look at this beautiful piece of tri-tip and how we're going to prep it up with some garlic, parsley, mustard seeds and olive oil to make a nice herb crust on it, and then score up this fat cap for some beautiful crisp fat at the end. It's tri-tip, it's got them 3 points. And if you flip it over, guys, it's a beautiful cut of meat. It's nice and cheap, but it has grains running in 3 directions. So you've got grains running this way, and then just at the end they just veer off slightly. So make a note, guys, of them grains, because we're going to be slicing against them later. But you can see here that transition. Beautiful intramuscular fat in this piece of meat, guys. Nice fat cap. There's a little bit of thick fat cap on the top that I just want to trim down. I am going to leave it on, but I just want to take some of that fat off because we are going to be smoking this. We're not searing at the end, we're going to smoke it. Now these pieces of fat that you take off, save them, guys, because we can use them for our sausage videos. Whoops. And don't do what I've just done. Pay attention when you're cutting, don't be looking at the camera. Dave, I'll just get on, trim off a little bit of this thick fat on the top, and then we'll flip it over, and I'm just going to tidy up any of these hanging bits and these little bits of silver skin that are just here. I'll quickly get on and tidy this piece of meat up. Just trimmed up, guys. Tidy that underside up. You can really start to see that grain structure in that meat. Looks absolutely fantastic. Now we're going to leave that fat cap on, like I say, and all I want to do to help render it down in the smoking process is score this, and we're going to do it in a diamond pattern. And then in the opposite direction, guys. Oops. So we create a nice bit of surface area to help render that fat down and get that salt in. Let's put our tri-tip to one side and get on with making our herb crust. So with our herb crust, I'm going to start off with 10 cloves of garlic. We pop them in the pestle and mortar and give them a quick bash. So once you've worked it down into what's starting to be a paste, we're going to take a good handful, and this was a 25-gram bag of flat leaf parsley. I'm going to try and roll it up, make it a bit easier for you guys. I'm going to give it a rough chop first. Just helps it easier to break down. Then I'm going to pop that in the pestle and mortar with that garlic. And again, just give it a good bruising, bring out all them oils and the parsley and the garlic. The smells coming off this, guys, are absolutely amazing. Give that a quick clean up. Nice little bowl to make our herb crust in. We'll move out our garlic and parsley. Try and get most of it in the bowl, guys. Missed and got the chopping board. But you can see that's nicely starting to release all of its oils. That garlic and parsley working really well together. I'm going to take a good pinch of Maldon sea salt. I'm going to take about a tablespoon of black pepper and just start to work that in. And then I saw this crust on Pitmaster X, and he used mustard seeds for that pop, that nutty flavour. So take your mustard seeds. Whoops, not that many, lads. I was getting carried away with myself. Work them through this herb crust. And then to bring it all together, guys, some nice olive oil. A good couple of glugs of olive oil. Just to pull that together to make it a nice sticky herb crust. And there you have it, guys. A beautiful herb crust. So taking our tri-tip, guys, and just on the meat side, we're going to take about half of this herb crust and we're going to massage it into that meat, and then we're going to flip it over, and then on the fat cap side we're just going to put in a good couple of teaspoons of that Maldon sea salt into that fat. Beautiful rendered out crispy fat cap, I think so. Beautiful piece of meat, but to get that fat cap extra crispy, we're going to hang it in our new Dreyvos smoker, which has a drying fan on it, guys, and that's going to help crisp up that fat and get extra smoke penetration. Not only is it going to help, but this is the way you should smoke meat, hanging. You're going to get loads of that smoky flavour all the way around. So we're going to open up our smokehouse. I've set up a tray down in the bottom, which we're going to put our dripping pan on to catch it. And I've got a hanging rail in the top. So let's get our meat hook, guys. Insert it into that meat. Get that herby crust on. And take a beautiful herbed crust, tri-tip, and pop it in our smoker. I'll bring you in for a closer look, and meat beautifully hanging there, that scarred fat cap. And like I said, this smoker, if you open the back up here, has a fan that we can turn on. This one here, guys, that's going to bring on a fan and help with that airflow to pass over that fat cap and dry off any of that moisture. So I'm going to shut the door, guys, tidy up, make our side dish while the meat dries out in our Dreyvos smoker. So let's make our super tasty side dish, which is going to feature new potatoes. I've parboiled them, mushrooms and bacon. What can go wrong with this? We're going to take our skillet and we're going to line it with a beautiful bacon. It's going to make a bacon bed at the bottom. Yummy. Flip it that way, and then round the sides to make a bacon bowl. Just the sound of that sounds amazing. Oh, got one piece extra. I'll just pop that across there. There's a bit of bacon fat. There you are, guys, our bacon bowl. Then we're going to take our mushrooms. I'm just going to pop off the bottom. I'm going to pop them all inside of the pan. I shall get on and do that now. Then we're going to take all of them stalks, guys, and still dump them in there. Don't want to waste them. Still good eating. And then we're going to top that off with some hunks of potato. Make it nice and rustic looking, guys. I'm going to get on and just pile this pan. There, guys, beautifully loaded cast iron skillet, bacon, mushrooms, potatoes, and then that beautiful herb crust that we had left over. We're going to start to drizzle that around in amongst all of them potatoes and mushroom. And then we're going to finish it with, yes, you guessed it, butter, guys. Butter, bacon, everything sounds good about this skillet. And we'll finish it off with just a nice little coat of pepper. And a sprinkling of salt. And there you have it, guys, our beautiful side dish, which is going to cook under our roast tri-tip in here, guys. So the meat's been drying in there for over an hour now. Leave it as long as you want, guys, but tonight I'm just going to give it an hour because I want to get on with eating. Time to turn off the fan and get the cooker ready for smoking. You'll notice I did pop a stainless steel dish underneath just to catch any juices while it was drying. And I have popped in a meter probe. I've got my shelf set up, I've got my meat hanging. Let's take our beautiful side dish and place that straight underneath that meat. So all the meat juices are going to drip down, render into them potatoes. And I've also took some peppers and I'm going to smoke some peppers alongside my beef. So let's go over the setup procedure. Now you can see me, guys. So we've got it on. We're going to heat the chamber up, but before we do, we're going to turn on the convection fan. We're also going to turn on the air compressor for the smoke chamber. I'm going to set the smoke chamber to 100% at the moment. And then we're going to turn on our heat. I'm going to be smoking this tri-tip at 120 degrees Celsius. So we'll set our temp. (120 degrees). The internal temp's currently 19 degrees, so that's going to start bringing it up to temp. Let's get some of them cherry wood chips in the smoking tube. So down at the bottom, guys, we've got our cooling tube and then the smoking chamber. I'm going to take our cherry wood chips, pop them down inside, pop back on the lid. If we come down here, we're going to start them smouldering, and then that compressor that we turned on earlier is going to start drawing through the air and pumping the smoke inside. So the temp's coming up, guys. We're going to leave that smoke 100% at the moment. Let's pop it up and I'll show you what I mean. Just down there in the bottom, see the smoking tube is now putting in that cherry wood smoke. The convection fan is going to distribute that heat all around the chamber. We've closed up the drying vent at the back, and then that meat and then peppers are set directly above that beautiful side dish of bacon, mushrooms and potatoes. We'll leave this to smoke now till it reaches that internal temp of 52 degrees Celsius. I'll bring you back when it's nearer the time for pulling. It's getting near finishing time, guys. So we're going to turn off the smoke compressor. And we're going to open her up. Oh, it's hot. Look, that beautiful, crispy fat dripping into our potatoes. We're just going to take some cream. I'm going to pour that into the potatoes without getting it all over me beautiful tri-tip. And then don't forget to subscribe, guys. In our Big Lez barbecue mug, a little bit of beef stock. Leave that just to finish off. Soon be time for pulling. Time to pull it, guys. Let's open up the door. Trusty tea towel. I smoked myself. Ugh. Just look. That beautiful smoky colour in that tri-tip. Pop it over on the board for resting. We'll take some tin foil. I do like my gizmos, and that's a real good one. I'm just going to pop it over that tri-tip and let it rest on the side for 5 minutes while that cream and beef broth warms up on them mushrooms. Just look at that, guys. That's picked up absolutely fantastic smoky colour. Our mushrooms, our potatoes, bacon and cream, and our smoked peppers. And like I said earlier, this runs in several directions of grain. I want to cut against the grain. I can see there. Just look how beautifully medium that is. You can see them grains running this way. So we're going to make a slice this way. Beautifully medium, just falling apart. Oh, that's so sweet. Absolutely. Delicious, guys. That meat is so sweet. That smoke. That herb crust. It's done an absolutely fantastic job. And don't forget, our side dish of smoked mushrooms, bacon, and that herb crust. Nice big bite. What an amazing spread, guys. Washed down with some beef stock. I'm going to get inside, take this perfectly cooked piece of meat, and devour it inside while you guys check this video out over here.